Hey guys, Vlogger here. This is in the morning right now and it's raining, so you might hear some neighborhood noises going on outside. But yeah, I have something cool to show you today, and that is how I am working on making my first ever splash art. It's still not finished. I haven't colored it yet, so it's a work in progress. But the line art is all there, and I cannot really call it like line art because it doesn't exactly look like lines, and it instead looks like messy sketch marks. Here, I'll show you up close. They're not clean looking, but yeah, this is all there. The line art's all there. And before making splash art, if I look back at my experience with making art, then I have made a lot of character art, and yeah, I'll show you some that maybe can classify as splash art, but they're not really one of those grand multi-character large pieces of artwork, you know. Sure, you can probably put all of this into a game loading screen, but I haven't really made one that's like poster worthy. So this is my attempt at doing that. And also made this one that's just a collage of different characters I've drawn. I guess you can call this one splash art, but it's not, to me it doesn't, what's the word now? I guess it doesn't qualify for me because it's just, I didn't make this entire thing planning on drawing all of the characters in one frame, but instead I collected a bunch of individual characters I've drawn before and I turned it into a poster. So I guess this is more like lots of character art I've done in the past, but then with good old graphic design skills I turned it into a poster that could be splash art worthy. But yeah, I haven't made one from scratch yet, so this is my attempt at doing that. And the thing about my character art is they always look like they're standing still in the middle of nothing. Like there would be a white background or a black background, or maybe a simple looking background, but it's always one character and they're striking a pose, and that's it. So I thought this splash art I'm working on would be a good opportunity for me to push past my current limits so I can finally get better at drawing, at art, so I can evolve, like a Pokemon. And I knew the challenges I would be facing when I started working on this, because I've done so much character art that I felt confident I could do it. But what scared me the most from doing this was how this would most definitely take more time and effort, because it would contain a lot of characters all in one frame. And that intimidated me. Like, I knew deep down, I knew that I could do it if I tried, but I also knew it would really, really, really suck to draw because of the level of difficulty. But me being the way I am, after putting away something like this for a while because I didn't want to feel burdened by it, I started to sort of get annoyed, like I would manifest this thing in my head mentally, like a voice telling me that I suck because I wasn't good enough to do something like this. And I finally gave in. So I picked up my Apple Pencil and just started drawing it. And here's how I did it. I simply just jumped straight into it. And I wanted this drawing to be one of like a scene, like somewhere in the middle of a war, where there would be a focal point that everyone in the picture would be reacting to. So it's very important that whatever I chose to do, like everything in the picture, it needed to point towards the focal point. Like everything in here is supposed to serve as almost like a frame, so that your eyes would immediately go to the focal point. And then after that, you're free to do whatever you want. Like your eyes can go to the focal point, and then your eyes will be free to just wander around the entire drawing, just looking at whatever your eyes want to look at. But yeah, the first thing the eyes are supposed to go to is the focal point. And since I knew this drawing would include a lot of people, I just started drawing a bunch of heads, which is what I like to do when I make character art. I just make the heads and then draw the body later in whatever body position will be allowed by the angle of the head that I just drew. You should try it out, it's quite fun. And to me, it's easy to do. Like, the easiest approach would be to just draw the head and then draw the body following the head after that. And that worked out well, at least for the first two guys on the left. They just sort of happened. I got really lucky there, because I ended up with a cool design for both, even though I never designed these two characters before. So one's a magic user, and the other one is this warrior with scars all over his head. The two Molenites in the corners, left and right, these two. Those two just also just happened, but this time it wasn't because I winged it. It was because I already designed the Molenites before, and I've even told you stories about them in my previous videos, so you can check out the links below in the description, by the way. But yeah, I already designed Molenites before, and I knew I wanted them in the drawing somewhere, so I just put them in. No sketch needed. I already know what they look like, so there was no problem there. But now this third person is where I started to really struggle. Like, I couldn't decide if I wanted a girl or a guy, but in the end I decided for her to be a girl, and I started going for it in here, but none of the designs I made looked good, because I started doing what I thought would work with the two guys on the left, but it didn't work this time, you know? So I thought it would be a good idea to design a brand new class, just so I can include her in this drawing. So I designed the Beastmaster. She's supposed to be this walking bird's nest of a person, but instead of just birds, she can house snakes and hidden weapons, and she can also command her own pack of beasts. And the design is supposed to look primal, you know, like as close as I can get to making her look like this barbarian. And if you want to know more about the Beastmaster, I have also included a link to a video about them that you can watch in the description below. After I designed the Beastmaster, drawing her in the splash art was like much easier, because by then I already know what she looked like. I just had to include her in. And then after I drew her, something happened. Like, I met a dead end, like a type of art block, but not the kind where I'm not motivated to draw, but more like I just didn't know what to do with the rest of the drawing. Like, it's because I've never made any drawings this large before. Like, one thing I know is that I want a big dragon somewhere in the drawing, and I'm a big fan of this Chinese artist called Ruan. He makes lots of drawings with dragons in them, and I thought I needed to do something like that for my very first ever splash art. But here's the thing. Once I got to this point, I pretty much put the drawing away for 2 months because of lack of experience. Because I really didn't know what to do at all for everything beyond this group of people here in the front. Like, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get anything to work with it. But finally today I figured out what I could do, and that is to add a line of people in the front lines beyond this group of people in the front, and these people in the front lines are making a wall using their shields to defend us from something beyond, and then I added a dragon beyond that, a front line of people, and this drawing itself isn't complete. So it's not complete yet. I don't like to add all the details in the line art phase. I like to finish the rest later when I color. But yeah, the dragon is here. It's in the background and reacting also to the focal point. And I think it's cool to imagine what could be happening here. What the dragon is reacting to, like who are the people fighting, what's happening here that people needed to form a shield wall. Is the guy on the left screaming at someone? Who's he screaming to? What is he signaling? Like, What's the magic user doing with his spellbook open and his staff pointed at the front? Like, what's he casting? And what's that weird animal curling itself around the beast master? Even though I'm not finished, I already learned a lot from this mere line art of a piece of splash art. So I'm gonna tell you about it. And I made one big mistake, which is lack of preparation. Like, I didn't prepare myself at all. I didn't sketch first. I didn't make many variations of the same thing before deciding on the one composition I thought would be best. Like, I didn't do the entire exploration part as I was still sketching. I just jumped straight into it, which is something that usually works for me, but clearly this splash art is an entirely different thing than what I usually draw, so I should have been prepared. And I wish I already had the design made. Designs made ready for everything in the picture before deciding on drawing this. Like, let's say if I were to make splash art for a company, like, I don't know, like Blizzard, then I would already have the source material to use as reference in the form of their own characters from one of their games. I can just look at them. Let's just say World of Warcraft. So the only thing I have to do now is to just draw them, because I already have reference. But in this case, I jumped straight into it without having the half of the source material. So I had to make my own source material first. And if you haven't noticed, by the way, if you haven't noticed by now, this splash art is not for any game or not for any company. It's for myself. I'm making my own world called Persevera, piece by piece, which is why it's possible for me to not have any source material to work with. So I guess in this case, I'm taking on the role of both concept artist and an illustrator, which isn't exactly easy, especially because I'm self-taught. And I don't have any industry experience or knowledge. I'm just drawing because I think it's fun. And also to think about jumping straight into this drawing without any preparation is, I guess it can work out well. But for something like this where the characters don't look like ordinary people in t-shirts, how each character is supposed to have an identity, supposed to look unique, I think preparation was definitely necessary. Because I didn't want my first ever splash art to be of nothing at all. I didn't want it to be meaningless. I wanted it to mean something. Like, if I made splash art of random characters I will probably never draw again, then I don't think I would feel like I actually did anything. Like, I would have wasted time too. Like, I wouldn't consider it splash art because I didn't make anything meaningful. So my point is, always prepare. Like, the more important the drawing is, the more complex, the more important preparation is. To make sure you end up with a cool drawing while not having to go through such a painful process like I did. And it would have been much faster too. And the good thing is though, the line art is finished, so all I have to do now is to color. So subscribe if you want to see that, because I'll definitely be uploading that soon. And if you have any questions, just ask in the comments and I will reply. You can also say hi. Don't forget to like the video. Check out all the other videos on my channel, because I do lots of videos just like this one. And I guess that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll be seeing you again in the next video.